Drainage and catch basin cleanings have been a big priority since the floods in 2017.
So many council members wondered why the Cantrell administration has proposed giving less money to the department which cleans and repairs those catch basins. Danny Monteverdi was at the first day of budget hearings and brings us this report.
When the rain comes down in New Orleans, it also often rises up in the streets. And that's why city council members on Friday asked why the Cantrell administration has proposed a cut to the city's Department of Public Works funding. Last year, the DPW, which repairs streets and catch basins, received $56.2 million. Cantrell has proposed giving the department $54.8 million next year, a cut of $1.3 million.
Residents' concerns related to the city's material infrastructure include drainage and street flooding. And I don't see any materials that say all 68,000 catch basins have been cleaned.
CAO Gilbert Montano says it might sound like a bad move, but the department already has cash it hasn't spent.
I think it'd be absolutely imprudent to push more money on the department when they still have such a significant $1 million fund balance.
That reasoning didn't sit well with the council. Members questioned the cuts to a department they say does some of the most important work in the city.
Now you've got 20 people working on catch basins. I think if you double that to 40, I think you'd get a better work product and more catch basins cleaned. I mean, it's kind of that simple.
Part of Cantrell's proposed 2019 budget calls for turning off 20 red light cameras. That's please citizens, but could leave a $4 to $6 million hole. Montano says that could be solved in part by filling 18 open meter maid spots. Those meter maids who work for the DPW would fan out into neighborhoods to ticket residents. That could bring in $2 million. But the council members say they don't want to build a budget on the back of citizens.
Catch basins and drainage is a priority for me over parking enforcement.
Danny Monteverdi, Eyewitness News.
City Hall announced yesterday that Keith LaGrange Jr. has been named the DPW's new director. His first day is November 26th. Budget hearings continue next week. The council must adopt the 2019 budget by December 1st.